All right, second graders, welcome to week 28 or week 5 of Quarantine School Math. We are going to go through all of your workbook pages that you have for the week, so please make sure that your workbook pages are all together and that your questions have either been circled or highlighted. Mom or dad has that information on Quick Schools, so if you're not prepared, pause the video now and just make sure you have everything together, okay? So we're going to do one question on each page together. This video is going to be kind of long because there are some things that we're going to really take our time with to make sure that we understand. So you might hear Marigold in the background, and that's okay. Don't let her be a distraction, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're starting on page 311 with question 2, okay? It says to write the sums and differences, then fill in the blanks to learn more about God's creation at Arches National Park. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this problem, and this problem, and then with these coordinating colors, we're going to put these answers, whether they're a sum or a difference, in these boxes, and then we'll read these sentences together. Okay, let's begin. So we're going to start right here with this pink box. I'm going to go ahead and circle my sign. It's a minus sign, so that tells me that we're going to be subtracting and we're going to be finding the difference, right? Because the answer to a subtraction problem is called the difference. Now let's go ahead and begin here. So we have 6. Well, what do I do next? I draw my lines, right? I know that a lot of us don't have to draw our lines anymore, but it is helpful to a lot of us too. So we're going to draw our lines and we're going to start in the ones place. 6 minus 0 is 0. And I'm going to be really careful to make sure I line it up nicely. 9 minus 9 is 0. Oh, it's, oh dear. 6 minus 6 is not 0. 6 minus 6, Mrs. Carlin, is 6. There we go. 6 minus 0 is 6. 9 minus 9 is 0. See, this quarantine schooling, boys and girls, is hard for me too. All right, and then we're here in the hundreds place. 1 minus 8. Oh dear, I can't do that. So I have to go over here to my buddy. And 2 is going to give me a 1. And I'm going to put that 1 right in front of this one so that this one turns into 11 instead. And this 2 turns into a 1. So now it says 11 minus 8 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. But I do not have to write that 0 down because it's the last number there. So my answer here is 306. I'm going to write that again because my 6 is a little funky. So 306. Now we're going to write 306 right here because it's the pink box. Okay, what does the sentence say? The longest arch is 306 feet long. Wow, that's pretty cool. God is so awesome in his creation, isn't he? All right, we're moving on to this box right here. Let's circle our sign. It's another minus sign, so that tells us we're going to subtract and find the difference. So let's go ahead and draw our lines, making our nice and neat columns. If you don't have to do it, don't worry. All right, we're back in the ones column, and we're going to go to the tens, then the hundreds, and then the thousands. Woohoo! 9 minus 7 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 minus 2 is also 1. And 6 minus 6 is 0. So do I have to write the 0 here? No, I don't, because it's my last one. So my difference is 112, so I'm going to write 112 here. Let's read this fact. The tallest arch is 112 feet above the ground. Wow. Again, God is so creative with his creation, isn't he? All right, to the yellow box. Let's go ahead and circle our sign. Ooh, this time we have a plus sign. So it tells us we're going to add. So we're going to get bigger. And we're going to find the sum. Not the difference, but the sum because we're adding. So we're going to draw our lines. There we go. Okay, and just like in our subtraction problems, we'll start in the ones column and move forward. So 7 plus 0 equals 7. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 2 plus 3 equals 5. And 2 plus 1 equals 3. Now, this number has 4 digits to it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 numbers. We know that if a number has 4 digits or more, we're going to have commas. Okay, that's how we separate our numbers, and it makes it easier for us to read. So we start from the back, we count 3 numbers, and then add a comma. 1, 2, 3, and then the comma goes right in front of that number that we counted as a 3. 1, 2, 3, comma. So this reads 3,577. Everybody read that with me. 3,577. So we'll write that down. Do not forget your comma. Even if Mrs. Carlin can't see you, do not forget that comma. And we're going to write it here, and then we'll read this sentence. The largest balancing rock weighs 3,577 tons. Whoa, guys, that's not 3,577 pounds, that's tons. Whoa, and 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. Oh, mercy. That is a heavy, heavy balancing rock. God is so cool. All right, let's move on to page 312. So we'll just flip this over. And we are going to be completing question 4. Okay, so right down here. It says to mark the circle under the amount that is rounded to the nearest dollar. So we're going to look at the dollar amount, and we're going to figure out, okay, is this dollar amount closest to the dollar, the flat dollar that comes before, or the flat dollar that comes after? And what I mean by flat dollar is the rounded dollar. Okay, so looking here, this is $13.23. $13.23 lands somewhere between the $13 and the $14. Okay, so it means that we're somewhere between $13 and $14 because we're $13 with a few cents with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this back amount. We know that if I have 100 cents, then I have $1. So we're looking at this back number, and we're going to see, okay, is this back number closer to 100, where I would get another $1 and go with the bigger amount? Or is this number closer to 0, where I would go backwards and say, actually, this number is closest to the smaller amount of dollars? Okay, so 23, think about it, is 23 closer to 0, or is it closer to 100? It's closer to 0, right? So it's going to be closest to the $13 than it is $14. Okay? All right, going to the pink circle or the oval, $8.91. So we know that $8.91 is somewhere between $8, and somewhere between $9. Because it's $8, it's above $8, with some cents, but it's not quite $9, right? Because it still says $8. It's somewhere between those two. So we're going to look at the cents. Is it closer to 100 cents, where I would go up $1 and say, oh, this $8.91 is closer to $9 than it is $8? Or is this 91 cents closer to 0, where we would say, actually, this amount is probably closer to just $8 instead of $9? 91, is it closer to 100 or closer to 0? It's going to be closer to 100. Very good. So we're at the $9 mark. Closest that way. Okay? You guys, this isn't new for us because we have learned how to round numbers to 10. Okay? So rounding up and rounding down. We think about that hill, right? Where the 5 is at the top, and then you have 10 and 0 over on this side. So if you're at that 5, which could also be 50, okay, then you're going to go down this way to the bigger number, or if you're at 4, then you're going to go down to the lower number, okay? All right, $14.25. It's between $14 and $15. It's somewhere floating between those $2 amounts because we're over $14. We've got some cents, but we don't have 100 cents yet to get us to $15. Okay? So let's see. We're going to look at this back number. 25 cents. Is that 25 closer to 0, or is the 25 closer to 100 where we could get a dollar bigger? 25. Think about your big wide number line. You've got 100 way over here and 0 way over here. If you were going to count all the way to 100, would 25 be closer to the 0, or would it be closer to the 100? It would be much closer to the 0, wouldn't it? It's way down here. We think about numbers 50, 75, 80, 90. They're closer to 100. But 25 is much closer to 0. So it's going to go back, okay, to the $14. There you go. Very good. All right, let's move to page 315. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm actually doing all of these papers on my dishwasher. So I'm sitting on the floor in my kitchen, which is kind of funny, I'm sure, to see. Okay, we're going to be completing question 2, which I'm really excited about because we're going to be working with this right here. Who can tell me what this is? It's a graph. I'm sure many of you said graph, but what kind of graph is it? We've learned about different types of graphs. We've learned about line graphs, bar graphs, but what do we see here? We see pictures, right? This is called a pictograph. Very good. I'm sure some of you have already said that. This is called a pictograph. It uses pictures to represent numbers or represent information, okay? It has a key here at the bottom. The key is telling us how we should look at those pictures. Does this bunny mean one bunny, or does it mean more than one bunny? So we have to pay attention to our key. And the information, is it going horizontal, side to side, or is the information going vertically up and down? Horizontally, right? The information is moving side to side, so this would be a horizontal pictograph. Everybody say that with me. Horizontal pictograph. Excuse me. I know we've worked with horizontal pictographs in class before, so I know this isn't new for you. I just wanted to review that. So, number 2. Oh, wait, before we begin, let's read our key right here. Actually, with your pencil, go ahead and put a star on either side of this key because this thing right here is very important. If you don't pay attention to this key, you're going to get everything wrong. And I'm not kidding. You will get everything wrong because these keys, remember, they give you the information to tell you how to read the graph correctly. So, question 2 asks us, how many animals did each person see? So we have names of people, okay, and then these bunnies are going to represent how many animals they saw. Write a multiplication sentence to show your answer. So our key says that each bunny means 3 animals. So each one of these bunnies, if I say, oh, there's one bunny, that's actually 3 animals that they saw. So Dad, they say right here, he saw 3, okay, and each one of these is worth 3, so this is like a group of 3 animals, a group of 3 animals, and a group of 3 animals. So he saw 3 times 3, or 3 groups of 3 animals, which would be 9, okay? So let's go up to Mom and see. There's only one bunny there, so she only saw one group of 3 animals. Poor Mom. She didn't get to see a lot of animals while she was camping, huh? So we would write that. She saw 1, okay, write your 1 down. She saw 1 group of, remember our multiplication sign, we say group of or groups of, 1 group of 3 animals. What would that equal? 1 times 3 would equal 3. Good. She only saw 3 animals, which makes sense because 1 bunny means 3 animals, so just be 3. Okay? All right, Miss Ashley. Ashley went camping. So there are 2 bunnies here, which means we have 2, okay, groups of 3 animals. So let's write that down. There are 2, write your 2 down, groups of, multiplication sign, 3 animals. 2 times 3 equals what? It's a double, so it would be 6. 3 plus 3. Okay? Which makes sense. If I were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. She saw 6 animals. All right, Jacob. Jacob. It must be Dad, Mom, and their 3 kids. Jacob, oh, he was busy. Look at all those bunnies. He must have been out when he wasn't supposed to. Maybe like Mr. Landon would do. He's exploring the wilderness, and he's out finding all the animals while he's camping. So he saw how many groups of animals? 1, 2, 3, 4. So he saw 4 groups of, multiplication sign, groups of 3 animals in each group, 3, which would equal what? Now, boys and girls, you have to practice your multiplication problems, okay? If you don't practice your times 3 family, then this is going to be kind of hard to figure out. So we could also, if we don't know this, we could say, okay, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I just put 12 dots on those bunnies. So 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? And Miss Emily, she must have been hanging out with Mom. Maybe she was a little bitty toddler and she was wrapped and strapped onto Mom for this camping trip because she saw the same amount as Mom. She saw 1 group of 3 animals, and that was 3. Okay? Very good. I love graphing with you guys. Even though I'm in my kitchen and we're graphing like this, it's still really fun to do graphs with you. Page 316, this is optional. You do not have to do it if you do not want to. I think it is a super fun activity, but it is something that we don't really need to worry about right now. So you can do it or you don't have to. Totally up to you. Okay? All right, we're going to move to page 317. Okay? 317, and we're going to look at some place value, finding the value of each little place. And let's see here. I wonder if this will clip up here. Maybe not. I'm just going to have to hold it. Okay, so we're down here at the bottom at question 5, and it says to fill in the blanks. 136 has blank tens. Okay, how do we figure that out? How do we figure out how many tens 136 has? Oh, well, shoot, Mrs. Carlin, we're just going to circle the tens place, and that'll tell us. So, in 136, where's the tens place? Start from the back to find it. Ones place, tens place. Oh, there it is. So, how many tens does it have? 3. Okay? 293 has blank hundreds. We're going to go to the hundreds place. Pay attention to what they're asking. Hundreds place. Let's start in the back. Ones, tens, hundreds. Found it. We're circling that number. How many hundreds does it have? 2. Good. All right, here we go. 1004 has blank ones. How many ones? Well, we're going to go to the ones place and find out. Start in the back. Ones. Oh, there we go. That's pretty easy. Circle the ones place, and there are 4 little ones. Good. And, oh, this is a big one. Excuse me. 23,890 has blank thousands or 1,000s. So we've got, hi. We have ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s right there. 3. All right, so we have 3,000s in that number. Now we're going to go ahead and switch to page 318. Now, boys and girls, this looks like something that's going to be totally brand new, but guess what? It's not. Don't let it fool you. It's not brand new. It's something that you guys already know how to do. Very easy stuff. You're probably going to think, Mrs. Carlin, this is baby work, but I promise you it's just trying to help you review. It'll go by really quick. So on page 318, question 1, it says circle the number of dimes in each amount. We know that a dime is worth how much? 10 cents, right? So it just wants you to tell us how many dimes are we going to find, and you're going to find that answer in the tens place because a dime is worth 10. So look at this example that it gives us. 23 cents. Do you see that? Circle the number of dimes in each amount. Here's 23 cents. How many dimes does it have? 2. It circled the 2. Pretty easy. So we have 17 cents. How many dimes do you see in 17 cents? Just 1, right? So we're going to circle the 1. And guess what? It's in the tens place. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? All right, 31 cents. 31 cents, 10, 20, 30, 31. How many dimes are in it? 3. Boom, right there in the tens place. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, am I right? Okay, moving on. We're going to go to page 319. And remember, boys and girls, if you feel like, oh, Mrs. Carlin, you're moving too fast, you can always pause this video. It is no problem to me, but I just have to keep moving so that our video doesn't last too terribly long. So what we're going to do is now we're going to be on page 319, and we're going to be at question 1, okay? So question 1, this is going to be where we're writing times and setting the clocks. And what it's telling us is we're starting at a certain time, and then they're going to have us add time to that clock. Okay, it's going to kind of give us a story, and it's going to tell us, okay, you need to write the time, but it has to be this much time later. Okay, so a hike to Balanced Rock takes half an hour. So this is the start time. We're going to write the time down, and then we're going to, okay, half an hour later, we're going to add half an hour to this and draw it and then write the time, okay? So first, let's figure out, boys and girls, what our start time is. What time did we start going on our hike? Well, my hour hand is between the 7 and the 8, so it's 7 something. We'll put my colon there, okay? And then my minute hand is pointed to the 3. I start with counting at my 1, counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15. So we're starting at 7:15 a.m. Now it wants to know, when did I finish my hike? Because this hike lasted half an hour. Boys and girls, how long is half an hour? Half an hour is only 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You can write that down if you want to and just point to it. 30 minutes. Half an hour is 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do with this cute little minute hand over here is I'm going to put my pencil on the minute hand at the 3, and I am going to count 30 minutes from now. And am I going to count by 1s or am I going to count by 5s when I hit each number? I'm going to count by 5s. So 30 minutes later, here we go, starting at the 3. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30. So on this clock right here, that's where my minute hand is going to stop. So I'm going to draw my long hand and point it at the 9. And then did this minute hand go all the way around the clock and past the 12? No, it didn't. So it's all this hour hand is going to stay between the 7 and the 8. Okay, because the minute hand didn't go past the 12. It's not going to move up to the 8 o'clock hour yet until that minute hand goes past the 12. So it's 7 something. Let's figure out when we finished. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. We finished our hike at 7:45 what? a.m. Please make sure that you put a.m. there. That's a label. That way they're not saying 7:45 monkeys, 7:45 inches. What do you mean? Write AM so they know that you're talking about time. Okay. Excuse me. Let's do this one down here. Hike to landscape arch takes 60 minutes. Well, let's figure out first what our start time is. So what is our start time? Let's look at our hour hand. The hour hand, the shorthand, is between the 10 and 11. So it's going to start with the 10, right? It's always the number before if it's between two numbers. So 10. And then the minute hand is at the 2. So we're going to count by 5s until we get to the 2, starting at the 1. 5, 10. Oh, 10:10. How nice is that? So 10:10 a.m. is when they started their hike to Landscape Arch. The hike takes 60 minutes. Underline 60 minutes for me. What do we know about 60 minutes, boys and girls? How long is 60 minutes? 1 hour, right? So guess what? I don't even have to move my minute hand. He gets to stay at the 2 because I know that if it's just 1 hour, that means my hour hand is going to move one number. So I'm going to finish at 11:10. So let's go ahead and draw that, 11:10. So the minute hand is going to be pointed to the 2 for 10, and then the hour hand will be somewhere between the 11 and 12. Just like that. Very good. Okay, last page, boys and girls. You are rocking and a-rolling. I'm telling you what, I'm so proud, and I'm so excited because it's another graph. Yay, us. Woohoo! Okay, so this is, let's see. Do you see a picture, really, on this graph? Not really, no. And it even tells us what kind of graph it is in the question. Read the line graph. Everybody underline line graph for me. This type of graph is called a line graph because the information is being connected by a line. Okay, so we've got the title, the average high temperatures at Arches National Park. This is going to tell us how high the temperatures are. You see how they have degree symbols? So right here where this little dot is, it's 80 degrees, okay? And then right here on the bottom is where we have the months. So what we're seeing here on our graph is we see that April, the month of April, this line, okay, on the month of April line, it gets to be about 70 degrees. And then in May, okay, here's the May line. In May, it gets up to 80 degrees. In June, it gets all the way up to 90 degrees. July, it gets all the way up to 100 degrees. In August, it goes back down to 95 degrees. And in September, it gets down to 90 degrees, which is still very, very hot. Mrs. Carlin wouldn't like that very much, I don't think. But that's kind of like Florida, too. It's very hot here. So we're going to answer some questions about our graph. Which month has the hottest temperature? If you were to find the month that has the hottest temperature, you're looking for the dot that is the highest up on the graph because our temperatures are going up. It goes from 70 all the way to 100. So which month has the hottest temperature? Well, let's find the highest dot. Okay, it's right here. Circle that, highest dot. And then follow the line down and see which month it connects us to. Which month is it? July. Very good. Okay, so write July on the line. Make sure you capitalize it, please. All right, and B, is the average temperature for August warmer or cooler than 90 degrees Fahrenheit? 90 degrees. Okay, so it wants us to find the average temperature for August, which is going to be the dot that is connected to August. So let's go to August right here, and we're going to follow this line all the way up until we find the dot. Oh, there's the dot, circle it. And now we can follow this line to go find the temperature. What's the temperature? 95 degrees. So it says, is the average temperature for August warmer? Is it hotter or cooler than 90 degrees Fahrenheit? Is 95 going to be hotter or cooler? It's going to be hotter. So we're going to write hotter. H-O-T-T-E-R. Very good, boys and girls. All right, thank you for tuning in and working on this with me. You just did half an hour of math. Way to go. Proud of you. Have a great day.